All right, so I believe we are live. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're joining us from. Let me start by welcoming you to another edition of Ask the Candidates. And today it's hosted by myself, Mr. Bassey, and Mr. David Etim. Thanks very much for joining us. So Ask the Candidate is an initiative of the Cross River Movement, which is a non-profit, non-partisan organization that's focused on improving the quality of governance in Cross River State. We started the Ask the Candidate series a couple of months ago, and we had governorship candidates from across different parties. So it's a pleasure today to start off this afternoon with our Senate conversation. So today we're hosting the candidates of the Southern Senatorial District. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be hosting the candidates for the Central Senatorial District, and then 2 weeks after that, we would then be moving on to the Northern Senatorial District. So thanks very much for joining us. And we will be kicking off very shortly. But before we do, just to let you know that this interactive session is brought to you courtesy of partnerships with the African Leadership Group, the Calabar Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, the Cross River Economic Summit Organization, and Etim. So thanks very much to our partners for joining us to make this a reality. I'll just go over a few housekeeping rules today, and then I would invite Pastor Sonny Enebi from the African Leadership Group to make some brief remarks, 1 or 2 minutes before we kick off. So just a few housekeeping rules today. So we've disabled the chat functionality and the interactive session on Zoom, but you can ask questions on our YouTube channel, and the link to that is being shared right now. So questions may be put to the candidates while the conversation is going on. So as you're listening, whether it's on radio or on Zoom or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, you can send messages through. Now, if you're listening, particularly those who are on radio, you can send us WhatsApp messages or text messages with your questions on 0909 594 2401. I repeat that, 0909 594 2401. So send us a text message, send us a WhatsApp message. And you send us a WhatsApp message, you will get details if how you can join the Zoom conversation. All right, so towards the last 10 minutes of today's event, we'll open up to participants on the Zoom conversation so you can ask questions directly, to the candidates if you're on Zoom. Yeah, and we'll encourage the candidates to keep their answers short and straight to the point so that we can get as many questions in as possible. Also, during the course of this interactive session, you may see some polls pop up where we'll be asking you questions. Please, oblige us by answering those questions. All right, thanks very much. I will invite Pastor Sonny Enebi, if you would just give us some brief remarks, sir, before we jump into the interactive session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bassey. I'm sorry at this stage I may not be able to put on my camera. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone on the platform, especially to our guests for today's program. My name is Sonny Enebi, and I'm the co-convener of the African Leadership Group. We are quite excited to partner with Iso Bassey and I think Etim, Mike, and all the other partners that are doing this. who are we, African Leadership Group? African Leadership Group was vetted about 2 years ago, and that group was born out of a passion for good governance, accountability, equity, judicious use of both human and natural resources, and to create and address the leadership dilemma on the African continent as a whole. Part of the challenges we found was the leadership recruitment process, first of all from the parties, and then even when the candidates emerge, how are we interrogating them and finding out their competencies and holding them to account for what they promised to do. So in this cycle of election, I think a number of organizations and groups have come out to do just that. And we're partnering with various organizations and groups, one of which is Bassey's group. And he's particularly... Hello?
Please go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
Please, yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So like I was saying, yeah, one of the group is Bassey's group and his team of people. They are particularly interested in what is going on in Cross Rivers. And we have several groups like that that are probably just interested in their states, holding all the candidates that want to contest to come and tell the people exactly what they have done, what they want to do, and how they intend to do it. And so this interaction is one of such avenues. And I'm quite excited that the candidates are availing themselves of this opportunity to speak to the people and to take questions from the people. I want to commend all the candidates that are on the platform and indeed have agreed to come. That's the way to deepen our democracy. So we are quite grateful. I am looking forward to a very robust conversation on all the issues and particularly the role of the legislator in our democracy. A lot of people do not understand it. Least to say that the legislators themselves have also taken a bit of a role of wanting to do executive functions, which is primarily not their role. But I hope in this conversation we'll be able to break it down. What exactly are the legislators expected to do? What kind of bills are you preparing to sponsor? How are you going to engage your other colleagues to make sure those bills pass through? A host of things will generally happen, and I want to leave the comment at that. I welcome you all, and I look forward to having a very robust conversation. Bassey, thank you very much, and welcome again to our participants and the guests especially.
All right, Dr. Sonia Debbie of the African Leadership Group, thank you very much for obliging us with the brief opening remarks. I will be handing over to David Etim shortly, who will be anchoring the practice session. I believe right now we have Mr. Newton Bassey, who is of the Social Democratic Party, and we have Upong Daniel of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. The candidate of the PDP, I believe, is in transit. He had told us that he was traveling, but that he would join the session, so we'll be expecting him. The candidate for the APC, we reached out to him, and unfortunately we didn't get a response from him. Who knows, he might join us, but if he doesn't, I think he's missing out on an opportunity to talk to Cross Riverians. All right, so at this point, please, I'll invite David Etim to take the floor and lead us through this interactive session. David, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Etim, as introduced, and I am the Deputy President of the Calabar Chamber of Commerce. So I am actually co-anchoring with Esau in that capacity as a partner from the Calabar, representing the Calabar Chamber of Commerce. Well, like Esau has said, this is to be an interactive session. We expect the senatorial candidates for the Southern Senatorial District to maybe take 10 minutes to introduce themselves, introduce the reason why they feel that we as the electorate should consider them for the office of senator representing the Southern Senatorial District. And as a spill out, as a fallout of that, then they would then be able to, tell us their understanding, like Mr. Pastor Enebi has rightly stated. There seems to be a traditional misunderstanding of the role of the legislature, and that it is not an executive role. Sorry, hello? That it's not an executive role, but they do have oversight functions, and the management of that oversight function, so that you do not try to encroach or exceed the boundaries of your own constitutional authority, is something that is a fine line that we need to be able to be sure that those that aspire to hold that office understand. And so that we don't have a situation where you spend 4 years battling with the executive over issues and actually achieve nothing in terms of productivity. So with that much said, I would like to invite the first candidate that we have on board, which is the SDP candidate, if I'm correct, Mr. Newton. I presume you're with the SDP. Hello. Hello, Mr. Newton. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello. So can you hear me? You're muted.
Yes, David, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. I wasn't sure. I'm trying to invite Mr. Newton to introduce himself and therefore also take us through what his understanding, Newton Bassey Edet of the SDP, to introduce himself, give us a bit of his antecedents, and then go straight into why he thinks he is the candidate of choice. Thank you very much. Newton Bassey Edet, please. So can you unmute him so that he can then take us through? And then Edidion, please also be on the time on the clock so that we're sure that 10 minutes is 10 minutes.
Newton is unmuted. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we'll go to candidate Upong Daniel and then maybe come back to Newton.
Okay then. So candidate Upong Daniel, could you then please, is he unmuted? Is candidate Upong Daniel unmuted?
I think I am.
Excellent. Please, you have the floor. You have 10 minutes to introduce yourself and then introduce why we should consider you as the senator to represent the Southern Senatorial District of Cross River State. And then, give us a bit of, the why. And then from your answers, we'll then take you up on a few issues that may give a bit more clarity into the role you desire to play in Cross River State. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for hosting us here to speak to the people that matter in our political life, and that's the people of Cross River State. I am Upong Chuang Daniel. A lot of us may have a little glitch trying to understand why Chuang is in the name. Well, it's because of where my mom came from. She's a crossbreed of Chinese and Northern Nigeria. So my mom is a Northerner, while I'm from Mudupani. Thank you so much. I am one man that will love every candidate really to have been here, so that it's an opportunity for them to know why I'm here and help them understand that I'm not here to compete with anyone. I am the MD of Expansions Group, an IT tech company, even though I'm an ACCA chartered accountant, just rounding up. And I do a lot of things, programming, and a business person too, with some hand into oil and gas, running filling stations, and selling of electronics and more. I ran for office of the president, or I was an aspirant of PDP presidential race, those of you who check the profile, but because of my age, I'm not up to 40, and the PDP brought their deck to 40 after some of us have gone for expression of interest and the rest, that we should not run for the office. We should go and get old first before we run for the office. So this is Daniel. I have a clear objective, and I really appreciate what the pastor said about people not knowing the difference between the executive and the legislatures. I don't know if I'm audible, please. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So it's simple. I have worked with politicians. I think I'm just a politician now. I've worked with politicians. I still had vital roles playing in the design of Oyo State. I ran contracts and deals for the government of that state, the secular road. I was the 7-man panel, key insider, planning the coming in of Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, because before we formed a coalition, ADC and PDP, I was the one that designed the secular road. If you check now, Oyo State is running a secular road project. It's on record. I designed it for Senator Laleyin, and the late Ajimobi, I was his IT support. I prepared almost every of his speech. And since 2011, each time I come into the country, I do beautiful things for politicians, and not all have been taken. I participated in some things in Lagos, participated in some things, just contract with companies and giving direction to what should be, until senior military officer, the GOC in Oyo State advised, what are you doing? Why not run for the office yourself? And since then, we thought of it, and we came on to run for the office of the president. Now, why did I want to run for the office of the president? I came to Cross River, where I came from, and the state is far behind. Far behind. Our youths are known for, sorry to say, out there a lot. In most countries, you will hear cross civilians. Some are doing well, some are as low as they're known for house help and other undignified responsibilities or societal engagement. So I got really angry. So I said, okay, the best thing to do is to strike presidency and fix. But when the age thing came up and PDP could not take me as the state person, of course, we had to go to court. So, not to take me as a state person, the idea came to go for Senate, and ABGA presented an opportunity, and I took it. So since then, we moved around, we ran, I picked a chartered speedboat and went around the 7 local governments that any part of the state connected to water, as much as Etim. Went around.
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
I would like you to, you spent quite a bit of time. We need to be focused. I think you need to 1 minute wrap up this intro so that we can go into issue, because we have really not been able to dive yet. I mean, you've spent quite a bit of it. So let's dive straight into what you intend to do. What you intend to do in terms of being, if you are made the senator, what's your plan? How do you intend to approach Cross River State Southern Senatorial District from a legislative point of view? Thank you.
Thank you. I want to sponsor bills, like I was introducing that I am my mom from the north. We have so many friends that are running for this. I want to sponsor bills that would kick off 3 things. 1, this port authority, it has a better advantage to run than any port authority in the country. Cross River should have a working free trade zone. These things are sponsored. Is the senator that can drive that. A governor has limited power not to engage a federal
Cross River
parasite.
State, just to be clear, Cross River, the first free trade zone in Nigeria was created in Cross River. Calabar Free Trade Zone is the first. Okay.
Is it active, sir?
No, whether it's active or not, statutorily is the first. So the laws are in place to drive that. Okay. Now, the Cross River State government set up TINAPA. That's not working, but the laws are in place. The issue here is not the law. The issue here is how do we get the state, the Southern Senatorial District, which should be your constituency, how do you intend as a senator to drive for the economic development, the political stability, and the secure environment in terms of security of Cross River State? In 1 minute, please. Can you address us on that? Thank you.
Thank you. I know from my engagement with senators, if the senator of Cross River South will sit on this matter and raise it on the chamber, on the floor, on the red chamber, that these are the things that are on ground, but not having, because I was at the Port Authority, I spoke with them, and they tell me they are there, but the federal might is pushing a lot of things to Lagos. I spoke with them, I don't want to mention their names here. And if we will push it, that they will work, even if it is only to drench the channels, they will work. So there are things that the senators will drive. And if you have your colleagues in the House working with you to make sure it goes, I'm telling you, it will fly and everything will come back alive and it will function well. And I know well about the free trade zone. I went there to pay visit to them. If I was there 2 weeks ago, there are things that they will also tell us is from Abuja. If you can pull the string, it will, many things will fly. That is why they are not having the things they need to have. They need somebody to push it, and a senator will do that.
Better than a governor?
A governor cannot drive that without the Senate. I was with Sanwo-Olu when he was pushing the senators to push for Lagos to have approval to do some things. I was there. It's not a hidden name. My name is part of the people pushing that. Okay. And the senators were pushing for it. And now they've got $2.5 billion from federal government to attend to that. That's the work of a senator. If a senator will do that,
federal
the
government,
city will work.
I'm the one telling you. So, excuse me. I happen to be in the maritime sector. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the Lekki Free Trade Zone is a private development. The Badagry Free Trade Zone, Badagry is also a private development. Okay. Now,
is there
sorry?
Okay. Is there participation of federal government in it?
Federal government's participation is from the point of view because of the MPA law. Okay. So the MPA is the statutory administrator of all ports.
Okay.
So every port has to be developed by under the ambit of MPA. But the investment going into Badagry is private sector money. I happen to know this.
Good. You know Senator Yayi.
Just a minute, please. Just a minute, please. The point is this. Okay. Like I said, I am a private sector person. I'm not I don't do government contracts. I'm not a government contractor, but I'm in the maritime sector. Okay. Good. So the point here is that the private sector is driving that economy. Now, you as a prospective senator for Cross River State, okay, how do you intend to deploy the perquisites and the benefits of the office of a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to drive trade or drive to improve the economic environment of the Southern Senatorial District? You have not addressed me on this issue, sir. Please address me clearly, because I want to move on to the next question.
If you don't mind, let's stand the gentleman down briefly, okay, because we've got other candidates on. So we've got
excellent.
Bassey of this Democratic Party.
I see Senator Ikpo just joining. Yes, I think we shall just skip Newton for now, because we are trying to get him earlier, and then we'll come back to him. And let's give the floor to Senator Okon. Senator, I welcome you. I would like to now invite you to take the floor Oh, sorry, you're not senator yet. Excuse me. What am I saying? Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. I take that back. I withdraw that statement.
We actually wanted to file you on that.
Exactly. In fact, I find myself straight away. Ntufam, sorry, Ntufam Ekpokon. I welcome you. My name is David Etim. I am the Deputy President of the Calabar Chamber of Commerce. I see as you are joining us right away. So my name is David Etim. I'm the Deputy President of the Calabar Chamber of Commerce and the co-host of this event. Please, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to introduce yourself and to also tell us why the citizens of the Southern Senatorial District should consider you to be the preferred candidate of choice to represent them at the Senate. Thank you very much. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ntufam, we're unable to hear you. You need to unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, please. We still can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm coming up.
We can hear you now. Is that
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me? You can. Okay, fine. Thanks.
Yes,
yeah. Well, my name is Ekpo Okon. I am the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. And first, I'm offering myself to serve the people as a senator representing the interest of the people of the Southern Senatorial District. First, as a representative, you must be attuned with the needs of the people, the desire of the people. You must understand the people. You must know the people. And that's the only way that you can represent them, because you can only represent people whom you know. You can also understand their needs. First, the issue of how would the people of the Southern Senatorial District entrust their mandate in my hands. It's because I know that I understand their problem, and I know that I live here, I've grown up here, and I understand them, I understand the need. I'm part of the problems of that we can find here. I have actually served before, and I understand how to meet their needs. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. You understand how to meet their needs. You said you served before. Could you use your track record of service as a justification for this? Tell us about your track record of service, please.
Well, I started, first I was elected into the House of Representatives in 1992. Unfortunately, the Third Republic did not subsist after the annulment of June 12th. Subsequently, I took part in the process of formation of parties and worked hard, and we were able to elect Mr. Donald Duke into office as governor of Cross River State. I served first for 1 year as Commissioner for Agriculture. During that 1 year as Commissioner for Agriculture, we evolved a process whereby we were going to sustain and, of course, create a basis for commercial agriculture for the government partnering with
Hello, is it him that is frozen or me?
I think he's frozen.
Okay, he's frozen. Okay. Well, what do we do? Do we move on? That's 2 minutes. Hello.
So we have Wilma here. All of that started through that process. And these are organizations that I employ.
Ntufam, I think we're having a problem with your link. Unfortunately, we are having a problem with your link. Your 3 minutes is up. Hello. Hello. Hello.
David, my suggestion would be, while we're waiting for
let's move on.
Yes, we have candidate Newton.
Newton, yes. Candidate Newton, are you ready to speak now?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, please, you take the floor and give us 3 minutes, please, of your, your background. Introduce yourself, and then justify why you should be the candidate of choice for the Southern Senatorial District of Cross River State. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Newton Bassey, and I'm also an engineer. I studied electronic engineer in Cross River State University of Technology, now Unicross. And for me, I think that the world is changing now. Like you see in the Western world, the young people are taking the center stage. It was quite okay that our father, Ndufam Ikpo Okon, become a federal legislator at a very young age. So at this point, I think that it is for the young people to make reality. So that's why I offer myself to run for this office as a young person, because the generational ideas that I have. And also, I'm from Southern Senatorial District, Bassey local government. I school here from my primary school to my university. So I really know the problem, especially my local government, Bassey local government. Like, Bassey was ceded to Cameroon in 2007. Up till now, there is no federal law that has put permanent solution to Bassey issues. So therefore, the people now live in abject poverty, intimidation. So, and I believe if I go to the Senate, I'll be able to put a final solution to Bassey problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The Southern Senatorial District, from Bassey down to Akpabuyo, they have their own problem which have to be solved. Like for example, in Akampa local government, they have numerous resources that has yet been tapped. Even the one that is being in use now is from foreign investors. So what now we're trying to do, what will we do when we become a senator? We try to engage our youth so that they can also key into the generational shift for the betterment of our people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. I appreciate the fact that you're a stammerer. That's why I have given you time, because I realize that Putting pressure on you will only make you stammer much more. So to give you time to speak.
All right. Thank you, Mr. David.
Sure. Now, I would like to ask one question, the same question to all the candidates so far here, and that is your understanding, because I see there is a blurring of lines, at least especially with the ABGA guy and yourself, in terms of the functions of the legislature and the executive. You seem to get them a little blurred. So I need you to articulate for us your understanding of the role of a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
David, sorry, if you don't mind.
How do you understand that role? Yes.
Sorry, if you don't mind me just
go ahead.
Before the candidates answer the question that you put across to them, this is just to say to everyone that you are live on Ask the Candidate, organized by the Cross River Movement in partnership with the Calabar Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, the African Leadership Group, the Cross River Economic Summit Organization, and HIT FM. And especially for those who are listening via radio, if you would like to send us a question, you can do that by sending a text message or a WhatsApp message to 0909 594 2401. I repeat that, 0909 594 2401. Please don't call the number. You can either send a text message or a WhatsApp message to that number. And for those who are on the Zoom conversation, if you'd like to ask a question, there's a link in the chat. So if you go to our YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button and do ask your questions there, and we'll put them directly to the candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, 1 minute or 30 seconds to reply your understanding of what it is to be a senator, and, as opposed to being in the executive, your understanding of it. Okay, because I think it's critical, because whatever you're going to be doing, you are working within the ambit of what is possible for you as a senator. So what do you understand being a senator as? I would like to I want to allow Newton to take a breath. I'll go back to Ukpong Daniel, and then Ukpong Daniel, after Ukpong Daniel, we'll go there to Tufam Ikpokon, and then we'll come back to Newton. So Newton, take a breath, and then we'll come back to you. Ukpong Daniel, please. Could you just answer me in 30 seconds? What is your understanding? Okay. What is your understanding of being a senator? And, what do you understand by that? You're aspiring for an office. Do you have a clear understanding of the functions and functionalities of that office? That's what we want to get. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mute yourself and speak, please.
Thank you. A senator makes laws, legislative laws on behalf of his people, and a senator is the people's direct voice to the presidency. He is the one who drives their interests on the red chamber, and that becomes a law. Whatever bill he or she sponsors and the House adopts it, then it becomes a law, and it fights, and he gets the interest of his people going, even when it gets to some federal slots for appointments and job opportunities. That's what a senator drives for his people. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dufame Bokun, please, you have the floor. In 30 seconds, tell us your understanding of what it is to be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, every organized society is guided by laws, and therefore, and actually regulated by policies that are based on law.
Tufam, I think your network is giving us a bit of a challenge here.
Probably ask him to switch off.
Okay. Tufam, can you switch off your camera so that we can hear your voice better?
Oh my God. Okay.
Just switch off your camera. I think that's what is creating the problem for you also. It's contributing to the problem. Not maybe creating it, but contributing to it. Switch off your camera and let's just listen to your voice. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Can you?
Better.
Okay,
Yes,
better.
much better.
Okay. Okay. As I was saying, every organized society is guided by laws. And that is why the place of the legislature is critical in a democracy, in an organized society. That again means that the representative of the people must understand the kind of laws that will help raise the standards of living of the people he seeks to represent. He must also understand the challenges that his people face. He must understand those policies that are inhibiting the growth of his society, and therefore must position himself in such a way that he will help in the enactment of such laws that will help in making progress for the people, in allowing the people to realize their potentials and improve on their lives. Then beyond that, in the case of our environment, we must also understand that you must be close enough to understand and to be in a position to get people to work in tandem with you. That again means that you must be close enough to understand them, close enough for them to assess you, so that it's not all about their ideas. Their own ideas matter a lot. And that's why you must be available to be in a position to get their own ideas, weigh it along reality, and see how you can put it forward. That's my understanding of the place of a representative.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Newton Daniel, please, you have the floor. 1 minute.
Okay. For me, as a senator, like the primary function of a senator is to make laws that governs the states, like the federal states. Like I mean, so and on my own, I have a very good legislative agenda that I will present in the floor of the Senate when I eventually become a senator. And first, I will ignore laws and promote regulation that will promote key needs of my people. Then, and I also exercise periodic constituency needs and wants assessment via constituency assemblies. I will also drive the development of science, technology, entrepreneur, arts, and mathematics training center in each of the local government.
Okay. No, thank you.
To
Thank
help
you, Mr.
our people.
Okay, thank you. I have given you a little bit over time because I know that you are a stammerer. So, but
Okay.
you know, yes. Now, that said, you've created your statement. That's Newton. Your statement of a legislative agenda leads me into the next questions that I would like to put to each and all three of you that are here. For the purposes of record, I would like to also state clearly that we had approached the APC senatorial candidate. We had invited him. Unfortunately, we have not gotten a response from him, and we feel very poorly about this. And the fact that you aspire to lead the people, but you seem to be unavailable to those people that you desire to lead to us is not a very encouraging signal. Because if at this point in time where you have not gotten the mandate, you are unavailable, then what would happen when you get the mandate? You'll be completely invisible. That is our extrapolation. So we want to put it on record that we had invited the APC candidate and we have not gotten a response. Even to say that, okay, you know what, this particular date is not convenient, I would be very happy to on another date, Even that we've not been able to get. So we want to put it on record very clearly that we do not subscribe to such dispositions of parties or persons that aspire to lead. That said, I would like to now invite Ukpong Daniel to give us a bit of an insight into his prospective legislative agenda. Thank you. Ukpong Daniel, please. You have the floor. Tell us about what would be your prospective legislative agenda. If you're fortunate enough to get the seat, give us in your first 6 months, give us, as they say, the first 100 days, what do you intend to do? You know, it's not a 100-day thing, but just to give us an idea, give us an insight into your legislative agenda, your prospective legislative agenda.
Okay.
That is.
Thank you. My colleague here said something about Bassey. It's actually one of the key things. We've already, like I said, my approach to the Senate came as another approach to solving cross rivers problem. I was already looking at Bassey. It's part of the main thing I did being on the other side. But back to it, Bassey, we need to fix Bassey permanently, especially laws and bringing the attention of the federal government, making it to become a boundary law where appropriate, and also to establish security outfits. I spoke with all the 3 security outfits there, the military, the police, and the support from the IG's office because of the militants that come there. And one of the key things I found out in Bassey is they don't have a federal law binding rights on them over the encroachment of Cameroon or anybody coming over there. Even though that Cameroon thing is another thing we will visit, but that's not a talk for today. The Akampa also, that has which is an executive function anyway, but we want the laws that would bring the mining, the federal laws that will help establish Akampa extractions on mining grounds. That place, the resources there are just wasting. And we found out few individuals are exploring that for their personal needs. It has become a ground for some people. The youth in that place need to be engaged into that, but that should be a federal institution set up there to manage and monitor the things in Akampa and then extract it rightly. If I drive that for Akampa,
you have
it's
1
another
minute,
thing.
and I think you've exhausted your 1 minute.
Thank you so much.
Tufam, I would like to invite you to please give us an insight into your legislative agenda. Should you be fortunate enough to, your prospective legislative agenda, that is, should you be fortunate enough to get the mandate? Please, you have 1 minute. Thank you. Tufam, please unmute yourself. And
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Please go ahead. 1 minute.
Okay. First, I want us to take note of the fact that about 90 to 95% of the land area within this constituency is rural and very, 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 very deficient when it comes to infrastructure. I'm realizing the place of infrastructure for economic development. One of my greatest consideration will be to look at the issues of improving on infrastructure as it affects most of the rural components of my constituency, because I know that it is under that circumstance that we can improve on their economic fortune. The other aspect about what we own and how we can harness.
Hello, Tufam. Hello, Tufam.
What we own falls exactly on this. We must support an agenda that will. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hello? Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay. The other aspect is the fact that we must support the agenda for true federalism.
Okay. Ntufam, you're done because your 1 minute is over. You are in 30 minutes, in 30 seconds into your 1 minute. Hello, I think he's gone again. Okay.
So in Nigeria. That is part of my, because talking about the potential, the minerals, riches of Akanpa and other parts of Cross River State is still about federalism. You know too well that for you to mine anything, including the granite, you must go to the federal government to obtain license. The state and indeed the local communities take little or nothing, yet they are the ones who are bearing the consequences of environmental pollution as a result of the mining. So
thank you very much, Ntufam.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, I would now like to break it at this point and begin to ask some more personal questions to you to drill down on the person as opposed to the generality. And in this case, because Ntufam has seemingly the most public exposure, I would like to start with him. And I would like to ask you, Ntufam, taking into consideration that you were a former commissioner, you were also in the NDDC, if my memory serves me correctly. You have held several, you've been a party chairman, I think, at a point in time. You've held several public offices over time. And very honestly, since 99 to date, you have been in one way or fact involved in the political firmament of Cross River State. From, well, maybe like you said, even from the June 12th time, that is the SDP NRC time, you've been involved in the politics of Cross River State. So now, taking into consideration the not too young to run, and the fact that you have been involved in politics all these years, I would like you to address us on the fact that what freshness will you be bringing to the political firmament of Cross River State, taking into consideration that you've been there for a long time, and they say there is the saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So knowing that you are an experienced politician, highly experienced, what new tricks are you bringing that would bring a freshness to your tenure as the senator for the Southern Senatorial District, taking into consideration your experience in government and politics?
Thank you. Thank you very much first for acknowledging my experience.
Sorry to jump in. Sorry to jump in, Tufam. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I think we'll be throwing it open for people who are on this Zoom conversation to ask questions. So you would have a reactions button somewhere on Zoom. So if you can just click that and raise your hand, that would indicate to us that you have a question. And then, at some point during the conversation, we can bring you on. Over to you.
Okay. First, I want to thank you first for acknowledging my experience. The fact remains that you can't waste experience. Experience means a whole lot. And that's why I know that I am coming on board with a whole lot of experience that I believe that I can deploy for the benefit of our people. Issue of age is one thing, but the issue of what you have garnered over a period and how you can bring it to the benefit of the people is a function of who you are and how you act and how you work. When we served as commissioners, yes, we were young. When I ran for the House of Representatives in 1992, I was just 32. And so, but one thing I can say is the fact that we were not running because we were young. We were running because we believed that we had something to offer. I don't believe that it's all about age. It's about what you bring on the table. And that's why I can say that the experience I have gained, the contacts I have made, over the years at what I am bringing on the table and for the benefit of my people. Hello? Hello?
Go ahead, I can hear you.
I think it's done. David, if you don't mind,
fine. Yes.
There's a critical question that I'd like to put across.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
And then I think Ntufamikpo Okon alluded earlier when he was speaking to the fact that you need to be close to the people that you're representing. And I think all the candidates are aware of that. My question to the candidates is, how are you going to make yourself accessible to your constituents? Because going by past antecedents of people who are have gone to that position, once you get to that position, nobody can reach you. And maybe one of the reasons why people make themselves inaccessible is because they think that people just want to see them to beg them for things, right? But that's not always the case. Sometimes people want to talk to you to help you understand what the issues are. So I would, if the candidates could each respond, how are you going to make yourself accessible to the people of Cross River State? Is there going to be regular events? Tell us about how you would do that, please. Thank you.
Starting with, well, let's go around. So Ukpong Daniel, could you address us two things? You've heard the issue of your capacity to what capacity you're bringing to the table. I understand that you have been a government contractor, and while that has its own area of specialization, but how would you, what are you bringing to the table? And Tufam tells us that he's bringing experience, and what are you bringing? What are you bringing? What are you going to bring to the table that'll make a difference? Expertise. Okay, please go ahead. Take the floor. Take the floor and please tell us. You have 2 minutes so that you can answer. Sorry, you have 2 minutes so you can answer both questions about your accessibility and then also about how you're going to take it forward. Thank you.
I will plead with you to give more time to that if these two questions will be well answered. Thank you so much, Mr. Dave. Now, first of all, expertise. In accounting level, I think I am a person to talk about. In computer science, I'm a person to talk about. I studied solar engineering, and I have a lot of it, teaching young people how to go about that. I've engaged so many. I have just so many young people benefiting from that field. If you check, you will see Expansions Television. It's my product from Singapore. I am a person of technology. So if we want to talk of security, I also advise Nigerian Army. I also advise the government on security matters. So if you want to talk of, many address me as a security expert. Expertise in socioeconomic matters, expertise on youth engagement. There are so many articles about me on youth engagement, fighting government on how the youth be given a chance, not too young to rule. You can check, my name is part of those who fought for it. There are so many things that I want to bring to the table.
Excuse me, with all due respect, we are not talking about your profile here. We are talking about
you talk about what I will bring, Mr. Dave. So I want to get my young people.
I'm not interested in your profile now. I want to tell us what you are going to do, not where you are coming from. Whatever you are coming from is fine. But what we want is, what are you going to do?
If I will take you on that, for my elder brother, Epo Okon, you analyzed what he has done. That gave him a very green light to just take it up on what he will do.
No, please, with all due respect, it's matter of fact. What I've stated is matter of fact.
The facts you didn't have about me.
It's not me. It's not me. I want you to please take us to where you are taking us to. Please
get me right.
Please, I'm sorry if you misunderstand me, but I just want you to take on.
Okay.
We're on the clock. We're on the clock. We're on the air, and we are trying to make sure that we get as much value from you for the people as possible.
You see, I don't just want
please,
to.
Just go ahead, but please stay.
I don't just want to tell the people what I will do. I want them to know what I've been doing so that they will know it's going to be easy for me to do it. So in Cross River
I get
State,
your point. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. The youth will find a leadership of engagement and friendliness. I'm just 35. So I'm relating with the young people. Even now, if you meet me on the street, sir, you will not agree that that's a senatorial candidate, except you see crowd. I relate with the people on direct basis, one-on-one basis. We see ourselves. Since I found myself in town, there is no time far beyond politics. I engage myself with the youth. So we are going to bring technology in a simple relational state. Youth should be able to start up for a photovoltaic technology, which is called solar PVC, from start to finish without having to suffer themselves up and down. You don't need to go to one special place. You just teach people how to do solar. Teach the women what to do. Teach the young people how to make simple simple technology of fixing a television from start to finish. Get these young people busy, and they will not have time for crime. They will not have time for cultic activities. They will not have time messing themselves around. They will be very clear on their objective as youth. And in 5 years' time, from beginning of training someone, in 2 years' time, the person is good. In 5 years' time, the person should not be needing any form of assistance, monetarily wise, from anybody, except they are going for big project or maybe going into politics. They may need money to run politics.
Thank you very much, Upong. I expect to see you more in an executive position than in a legislative position. So maybe you should think about running for governor as opposed to senator, because you keep speaking to the issues of the executive. So I see you more tilting towards the executive than the legislature. Newton,
we'll fix the legislator first.
You have the floor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Newton, please, could you tell us? Take your time, breathe, and explain. Thank you. Hello, Newton. Is it that you're frozen? I believe Newton is frozen.
I think he's frozen.
Okay. Well, Newton, if you can hear us, maybe we'll come back to you again. So as at this point in time, the jousting is between Ntufamekpo Okon and Upong Daniel until Newton is unfrozen. So Ntufam, I shall come back to you. You have spoken about your experience and the things your understanding of the legislature. You have not, I don't know whether you addressed effectively your accessibility after the fact, taking into consideration. And I would like this situation to be also challenged by the listeners. You were once a commissioner, you were once in NDDC, you were once party chairman. How accessible were you then? There's a Hausa saying that if a man gives you Panadol to drink, you first ask him, have you drank it before? So now that you are coming again, we would like to know your track record of accessibility, your track record in delivering of all those things that you, over the last maybe 30, 40 years of your political activism, you have not yet done, which you now feel that with getting the senatorial seat, you will be able to do. Please address us. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you. Are you on with me? Hello?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay. Well, if you've been following my campaigns, you
we can't hear you for a minute.
would easily identify as the man in your neighborhood. They refer to me as the man in your neighborhood. And it is not for nothing. It is because these people, that's the truth of the matter. The fact remains that I, whether as commissioner, whether as a representative of the Democratic Party, I have records that I don't go with so much security. I don't. I make myself available. So I don't have a problem. I feel very comfortable when I'm in the rural areas, just as I feel comfortable in the urban areas. I feel very comfortable when I am with people of the upper echelon of our society, just as I can go down to the so-called downtrodden. And that's why I say, if it's the issue of accessibility, I know too well that I feed the ball, I feed the game, and I know too well that I'm available for our people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
David,
Yes.
if you permit me, please, because I don't think the question that I asked has been addressed.
Addressed.
So maybe I'll ask it in this way. So I know Tufan Okon has said, and rightly say, he's someone who is accessible. I'm not doubting that for one moment. In fact, personally, I know my house is not.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Please go ahead.
Please come again.
No, I was saying that you've said that you're an accessible person, and I don't doubt that at all. And I'm saying I have the privilege of living a stone's throw away from you, so I can possibly access you easily. But what I'm talking about is the people who don't know you personally, the people who, if you were out at a function or whatever, if they approached you, maybe stopped by your, whether it's security or whatever. So the question that I'm really trying to get at is, would you, for example, have a constituency office where people can come, can write letters, and those letters can be responded to? Would you, for example, maybe on a quarterly basis, have town hall meetings where stakeholders can come to and talk to you about issues, so that it's not a question of, do I know?
Thank you. I understand what you're coming at, and that's obvious. First, I think it is even a requirement that every representative must maintain and operate a constituency office. But I would even go beyond that and maintain offices in each of the 7 LGAs that we have, so that the man in Akpa Central doesn't need to come to Calabar before he can access me. But outside that, it is my own intention that I will make myself available to the extent that I will pick on constituencies. There are days that I will set, maybe every other 3 months or 6 months, that I need to have a town hall meeting with the people of Bassey. Even breaking it down, because if you know Bassey, for you to come out from Ray to Akpa Central is quite tedious. That if need be, you go to the other side of Bassey. You are talking about the other side of the river, so that those on that other side of the river can easily access you. And then you have time that you will meet with the people on this other part of Bassey. Definitely, and I said it from the beginning, that you must understand the people. You must be in touch with the people. You must never take the people for granted that you're going to speak for them and you don't engage them. You must be available to engage them.
Thank you, Tufam. Thank you. I'd like to come to Upong Daniel. Upong, based on your introduction, you had told us that I know that Shea Makinde is a PDP man. I know that Sanwo-Olu is an APC man. And you are representing ABGA. Now, could you relate to these parties and yourself? You were party to the development of Oyo State. You were party to the development of Oyo State under what's his name now that is late? Ajimobi.
Ajimobi. Yeah.
Ajimobi, yes. Ajimobi. You were involved in that. Ajimobi was an APC man. Makinde is a PDP man. Sanwo-Olu is a APC man. You are representing ABGA. Please, can you reconcile this for us? Let us understand, how all of this mix is involved in you. Thank you. We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
The question your colleague asked, I wasn't given opportunity to answer that.
Please answer. Feel free. Please feel free and answer. Please answer.
He said something about accessibility, and that I couldn't talk about. Now, the world is changing. Technology has made things easier. And if we want to work as a legislator, which you are to hear what the people want or get feedback from what the people are facing and take it on the Senate and make sure matters are addressed. I don't need to go to every village every now and then, which I will do when I'm dealing with the market women and the aged men. It's very simple. Put liaison offices just the way we are now. I'm here. I'm having campaign coordinators in different places. These campaign coordinators should become part of my team when I'm in office. Create what they call a call center. It's very cheap. Create call center for the people to call anytime, and it should be a toll-free call center. And why I say it's not expensive is because I'm in tech. Let's forget how much I will charge you when I'm running a contract than when I'm the one in charge of it. If I'm running a contract, it's totally a different thing. Now, I said that because when you create those offices, you put people in every ward. You have somebody running your campaign. When you get to office, get that person busy. And then anyone who report a matter to that representative and he refuses to take it up, there should be a call-free center where they will call, and once they say where they are from, the cost is on us. Then we have little offices in places where we hear what they are going through and take it up on them because we are being paid to do that. Now, on the issue of working with government, there is this non-partisanship that I have always worked in until I joined PDP, I think 3 years ago. Under normal ground, I come as a consultant. And you can say it well. I don't mean to promote any candidate here, but the Lagos State are known for expertise engagement. If you are good at what you're doing, they give you the floor. The same thing happened in Oyo State. I was given every opportunity to join the APC when Ajimobi was alive, but that was not my interest because the person that took me in there or the partnering company was a PDP man from Itesiwaju local government. So they were PDP people, right from Akala and everything. So I was engaged purely as a consultant. Now, PDP had been my party until April this year. I've been a PDP person. But when the PDP reject a presidential candidate aspirant with brain to fix the nation, and they are going for age, you must be 40 first. I have to leave such a party. That was why I left the PDP. So after sitting down,
thank you very much. Thank you. Now we understand why you left PDP, but you are PDP in your blood, but not.
Well,
you're Abga for the election, but PDP in your blood because you've always been a PDP man. We note that. We've noted that. Moving forward. I would like to now open the floor to any questions that anybody, please raise your hand and you'll be given. So please, you will manage that aspect for me so that you can then, just raise your hand and we'll give you the floor to ask questions. Like I said, I would really like people to take up Ntufamekwu Okon on his accessibility. He has asserted it, but I would like people to come back to us and say true or false. Let's do a fact check on what he has said. The other two candidates, maybe they don't have that, they haven't had that in the past, so it's a difficult thing to say. But if anybody, like Ukpong has said, there are people he's supported in the past and that he's supporting and is encouraging and is teaching them photovoltaic, we would like to hear from you. True or false? Is he teaching you photovoltaic or not? Is Ntufam accessible or not? We want to know. And unfortunately, the senator, the aspirant, the APC candidate for the Southern Senatorial District, Mr. Suko Ekpeyong Jr. is unavailable, and we want to put it on record that we are most disheartened by his unavailability. And we would like the electorate to recognize that it's an aspirant that is unavailable to you when he's still an aspirant may most probably be totally invisible to you when he becomes the substantive senator. So we still, however, would like to give him an opportunity for an interactive session. We don't mind. I would like to put it on air that if he chooses to give us a date that he wants to have another interview, I will be very happy to finance the radio interview with him, and I hope that Ntufame Ekpo and Ukpong Daniel will call in and also challenge him for not being here today. So thank you very much. Please, the floor is open. Thank you. Any questions virtually from those that are in the chat room, from anywhere? Please feel free to ask your questions, but please keep it civil, keep it to the point. Let's not go into anybody's personalities here. Let's not try to vent any unnecessary venom. Let's be very professional. This is a professional engagement. And so, yes, that much I've said. We have Ekpo Orok with his hand up. Ekpo Orok, so could you please unmute Ekpo Orok to take the floor? You have 30 seconds to ask your question. Please be very direct about it. Thank you.
Right.
Ekpo Orok, please.
Thanks a lot. I listened to all the candidates. The question you asked them about the role of legislator, none of them actually address it. And I'm sure you noted it yourself. So I'm surprised that candidates who aspire to be senators to represent us cannot actually explain in 30 seconds or 1 minute the role of a legislator. And this is what has done us in Nigeria. So my question again is about what exactly they think a role of a senator is. The reason is that we've been grappling with this issue of constituency allowance, and people get mixed up what the role of senators are. So if they can't answer that, I'm not really sure. Okay, let me be upfront. I can't cast my vote in Nigeria, but I'm not sure I will even vote for any of them. They don't. Please, can you allow them to address that question again? Because to try and see if they don't, then somebody will have to explain to them what the role of a legislator is. Please.
I think, David, if I may just make a comment before maybe we invite the candidates to speak on that. I think it's a bit unfair to say that they don't know. I think they did give that a shot, but maybe
he's not satisfied.
Yes, you're not satisfied.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's ask the candidates to respond to.
Please, candidates, if you can please give a response, 30 seconds to the point. Like you said, Mr. Ekpo Orok feels unsatisfied about the responses you've given. If you can add maybe 30 seconds to just clarify and fix his own appetite for the response, if possible, to the best of your ability, and then we shall move on. Thank you very much. Could you please pick down, Mr. Ekpo Orok, could you please put down your hand now, since you've asked your question, so that it doesn't get confused with everybody else. Thank you. So we'll start with Ukpong Daniel. Please, tell us, what is your understanding of being a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to the appreciation and acceptance of Mr. Ekpo Orok? Thank you.
I like the last part, to his understanding, because someone once asked me, I think last week, are you sure if they want to impeach the president, you will support it? And I was like, is that the role of a senator, just to impeach the president? If the president is wrong, sure, we will stand our ground to make sure he's out. But much more than kicking out the president, I'm going there to make sure I get my people benefiting 100% of everything Nigeria has. There is nothing Nigeria should be having and others are benefiting and my people are left out. And talking about constituency allowance is used to develop the communities or your constituency, things that interventions that federal government will have, you do a quick fix to attend to these things. That is basic. A businessman should do that. Some of us have done that without being candidates of any political party. So when we get there, we will use that money rightly to do mini federal establishments on behalf of the people, to give them direct access to good life. That is certain. But like I said, I don't want to misinterpret that into the role of an executive, because the executive rights are clearly different from that of a legislator.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ntufame Ekpo, please, you have the floor. If you can unmute yourself and give us 1 minute. Yes. Please go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Please go ahead, please.
I guess I'm on now. Hello.
Yes, you are on. You are on. You have the floor. You have the floor.
Okay, fine. Okay, first, let me say first, I don't know, I hope Mr. Porok understood. I said, every organized society is guided by laws, set of laws. Those laws are the basis for which we run a proper society. So Nigeria is a society that I think is placed properly to run on laws. There are some laws that are in existence that are not helping my people.
Please go ahead. Hello, please go ahead.
There are some laws that are not going to help our people. Hello? Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said it that look, there are laws that are in existence that are not helping our people. There are laws that are not there that we need to bring on board that will help fast track our true federalism. True federalism is based on law. True federalism. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Go ahead. True
Hello?
federalism is based on law, you said.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Finish your thought so that we can move on, please. Just finish your thought. That
True
thought is just
federalism is
completed.
based, that will allow the components units within the federation to develop.
I think we are having a problem with you.
At its own pace to develop its own resources, and its potentials.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That can be handled through federalism, and that's why I'm talking about the laws.
Okay. True federalism is your anchor point for as a legislator.
Society.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Thank you. True federalism is your anchor point. Thank you. Newton, I see you're back. Are you with us? Please blink if you're. You blinked. Thank you. Yes. Now, I saw you blink. The question is, what is your understanding of being a senator, a legislator, being in the legislature, and then what would be your approach to accessibility? Because I don't know when you dropped out, but your approach to accessibility, to be accessible to your constituents so that they can reach you, they can interact with you, you represent them in spirit and in being, so that they feel the proximity to you as their senator and you are able to represent them effectively. That was the two questions. I don't know if you got it when they were asked, but those are the questions that you are to address. Thank you very much. Then immediately after that, I see that my brother Bassey has a question and he will have the floor and you will have the obligation to respond. Thank you. Newton, you have the floor, please. Hello, Newton. I think you are frozen again.
I think Newton is frozen again. So, David, if you
so please take the floor.
Okay,
take the floor.
All right. So the question I want to ask to the candidates is this. So we know that Nigerian senators have the notorious reputation for being the paid legislators in the world. It's not an enviable thing, to be honest. For them going there, it's more money in their pockets, but it's a very unenviable.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I would like to ask them how they feel about, do they feel that Nigerian senators are good value for money? Should senators be earning the amount of money that they earn in Nigeria?
Yeah. I would like to throw that question first to Ukpong and then to Ntufam Epokon. So, Ukpong, please tell us, what is your opinion of the humongous salaries that are being earned by Nigerian senators? We understand people almost billions are being earned on an annual basis for salary. For 500 and something thousand, the budget of the National Assembly is more than the budget of several states. So if you get there, are you going to collect that money or are you going to reject it?
Oh, okay. I'm going to collect the money that is being allocated to my office, and I will use it to do, like I said, mini projects in my constituency. Each local government should get some form of development from me. For example, my person being a senator will be a proper and excellent advantage to whoever wins the Gubat seat in Cross River, excellently, irrespective of party. And you all know that my party does not even have a candidate in the state. So why will I do that? I said it earlier that I am an advantage to Cross River by many reasons, by affiliation to the outside world, talking about the Chinese government, by connection to the northern Nigeria. If I sponsor a bill, trust me, the bill is coming from you, sir. It's coming from everybody in the Southern Senatorial District. What the people cry for, and I take it up. When it bounces on the red chamber, trust me, the North Central and Northeast will support me. What am I trying to say? I have the heart of the North. So anything I am standing for, I will sponsor the bills with that humongous money my brother Bassey just asked of. Because to sponsor a bill takes money. And if you want to do public hearings to get the people really tell you what they think about a bill you want to sponsor, so that they will know what you are doing and they are rightly engaged in it, you will spend money to do that first. So to sponsor a bill with the opinion of the people well harnessed into it is money. So if they are paying that money, we will use the money for them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you. You said to sponsor a bill takes money. A Nigerian senator earns more than an MP.
The president of the United States of America.
A Nigerian senator earns more than an MP in the UK, earns more than a senator in America. And they are making bills. Why do you need so much money to make bills in Nigeria?
Okay, now, I've never served as a senator in Nigeria to be able to fight the issue of the money. But I'm not telling you that if they sent me, let's say, for example, 35 million naira is paid. And if I alone say I'm not taking the money, except I sponsor a bill to fight that money, if I say I'm not taking that money, even you will laugh at me. So I take the money and do something in the constituency. Every time I do something, imagine donating hospitals, imagine going to a place and build a school, and they are seeing the money used. Every local government is feeling the impact of the money. That would be cool.
Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah. Thank you.
I think that's fair enough, even though that.
Yeah, you may not agree with him, but he's yeah.
I'd like to
yes, exactly. Tufan, please. You have the floor, sir. Tufan, could you unmute him? Let me unmute him.
Please, sir.
Could you unmute him, Tufan, please? So, could you unmute him, Tufan? Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I was saying that with all amount of sincerity, I do not know how much the Nigerian senator earns. I don't know. And I mean it, I don't know. But let me say it, that somehow the National Assembly has been given a tag of people who are squandering. Maybe it is the lifestyle that is causing that, or maybe truly they are spending that kind of humongous funds. But I do not believe that a Nigerian senator is earning more than a Nigerian minister. And people don't talk about what the minister is. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
I really don't know how much the Nigerian senator earns. But at the same time, I don't believe that the Nigerian senator earns more than the Nigerian minister. But somehow there's a big tag of humongous earning. But what I want to find out is, how does the Nigerian legislator fit into the lives of the Nigerian people? Because I believe that if the Nigerian legislator fits in such as there, also being in a position to make the people see them as their representative, this kind of tag does not necessarily need to be there. Because in truth, when people associate, start comparing the earning of a Nigerian legislator and that of the American legislator, I don't know how much the American legislator earns. Neither do I know that of the Nigerian legislator. But one thing I keep, the society itself creates this problem. The society must be in a position to understand the role of a legislator. And therefore, expectation sometimes brings about some of these situations. In truth, the society brings a lot of burden, sometimes, unnecessary burden sometimes, on the Nigerian legislator that you don't find that in America. So sometimes when hello?
Yeah, and Tufan, I think thanks very much, because I think you've addressed the real problem.
Yes.
You've addressed the real problem. So the question maybe is, and I'm conscious of the fact that we need to wind down this session within the next maybe 5 minutes, but I think there's clearly a problem of expectation. And like I said, I think the legislators, once someone holds a political appointment, there's expectation. People come, my mother has died, my father has done this, and and yes, so there's that, whatever. But how do you, maybe how as a leader, what would you do to shift that expectation? It's shifting it, or trying to shy away from it may not be politically expedient, but it is not as it should be, but how do we move from a situation where we expect senators to pay for my mother's funerals and father's funerals and all of that, to actually doing what they are meant to do, which is make laws and provide oversight?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, that's why I'm saying that, look, we must situate every circumstance within the society where we function, because what are the expectations and the responsibilities you find that becomes a basis of assessment in America? I don't think it's naturally the basis of assessment in Nigeria. Indeed. You can be there very active on the floor, immediate needs of some constituents, and then you are judged as just not there for the people. You are judged as not worthy of representation. So those are some of the issues. I believe that social workers must also continue to work on our society so that we can get public office holders to do what they ought to do. When I raise the issue of the earnings of a minister and that of the National Assembly member, people may never address. They may not even know whether the minister earns by far higher than the legislator. But because the other one came and asked for their mandate, their expectations from him is by far higher than the expectations from that minister who was appointed to manage a certain ministry and is earning so much. And nobody's talking about that. So those are the issues.
Okay, Tufan Okpokon, thank you very much. And we trust that if you or any of the other candidates here are to become the next senator for the Southern Senatorial District, you'll be aware that that's a problem that needs to be solved. And I guess you would work with stakeholders to try and address some of these issues. But David, if you don't mind me saying, I think we're out of time. So maybe we'll just ask the candidates to make closing remarks within 1 minute each. I think starting with Newton, Mr. Newton.
Newton, please, you have the floor. Unmute yourself, please. You are muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm very, very sorry that my network went bad. Well, like the last question that you threw on me was my accessibility. Well, as a senator, first of all, I will make sure that I organize a periodic town hall meeting in each of the local government within my zone. In that case, it will make me be accessible to my own people. And I also want to thank everybody that have so far listened to this conversation, and also the organizers. You have really done well to come up with such platform that enable candidates to tell their constituents what they have to offer when they eventually win the election. I also want to thank our father, Ntufam Ekpo Okun, and I'm so glad that when he first ran for his, for for election, that was 1992. I was like 1 year plus, but now today I'm like contesting with him. So I'm very,
Okay,
very,
thank
very,
you very
honored.
much. Thank you. Upok Daniel, you have the floor. Thank you.
New thing. That was a political punch. It's okay. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. When I was told I was invited to come here, I said, wow, what an opportunity. And for free. Thank you so much for doing that. What would have been running after you for? You brought us closer to the people. And to everyone who is listening out there, I think if Crossivarians will understand, we actually didn't come, we have to contest on a platform. If not, you should just say, come and become our senator. We have fixed things for us. With due respect to everyone contesting, the advantages I'm bringing in to run this up is to give us, they said we are minority, and that has been pushing us to a corner as though we are not Nigerians, but we are. So what we will do now is, I want to explore a stronger force. We all know that the North has stronger power over many things in Nigeria. The North don't deny its own. We all know that. So I am both here and I'm there, but I'm bringing everything to the advantage. So I want to take Cross River State to the heart of the Senate and the federal government for every Crossivarian, especially Southern District, to enjoy being a Nigerian legislatively.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ntufam, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I truly want to appreciate this platform, and I think it offers what we need in a growing democracy like ours. I also want to appreciate my co-contestants. I haven't met some of them. In fact, the two of them I have not met personally, but I want to really appreciate them as young men who have shown interest in public affairs. I got involved in politics early, not because I didn't have what I was doing, but because I actually took interest in public affairs. And that's why I made myself available. The truth of the matter is that even the bill or not too young to run was actually a bill that made it possible that people who were restricted because they never met certain age category were cleared and it was made possible for them to contest. It did not also say that you were going to foreclose people who are going to bring their experience and people who are still available to serve are going to be excluded. And that's why each time I hear people talk about, we are the young ones, you should leave it for us. I say, no. Let the people have a choice. Let the people make a choice. Recently, the American people elected Joe Biden at what age? He was already in his 80s. They elected him. They chose him over some other person. What I am saying here is that our people are in a position to make choices. And that's why I don't believe that we should limit people because of age. If we can reduce it to the age of 25 for one to contest elections into the House of Representatives or even the Senate, I don't see anything wrong in that. Again, let me correct my friend Daniel, who raised the issue of PDP limiting people who were under 40 from contest. It's not the PDP. The law is there. The law makes it that you must be 40 for you to contest.
No, 35.
35. PDP did not. The law does not. The law says 35 and you can contest. The PDP did not. I don't think there's anybody who met that requirement who was stopped from contesting. The only thing I can say is that, yes, what I will expect the Nigerian system to work on is the issue of very high.
Okay, I think
charges on.
Okay, I think there are probably issues associated with his network, but I think this is a good place to round up this interactive session. Let me thank the candidates who have been here with us this evening. Tufan Mekpo Okon of the PDP, Mr. Newton Bassey of the Social Democratic Party, and Mr. Upwong Daniel of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Thank you very much for making yourself accessible to the people of Cross River State. It's truly appreciated. And we wish all of you the very best. And, we look forward as an organization to working with you should you emerge Senator for the Southern Senatorial District. We wish you the very best, and, we'll be in touch with you. So yeah, just to remind everyone, this interactive session has been brought to you by the Cross River Movement. You can follow us on social media. So our website is www.crossrivermove.com. And we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on different social media platforms. You can search for us at Cross River Move. Just to also let you know that our next interactive session comes up in 2 weeks' time. That's going to be on Sunday, the 4th of December, 2022, where we'll be featuring candidates vying for the position of senator for the Central Senatorial District. So we ask you, please, do join us, and we'll make available the opportunity for you to ask your questions in advance. And again, we'll give you the opportunity to ask questions live on air as well. To let you know also that there are opportunities for sponsorship. So if you would like to have your brand promoted during these interactive sessions, please reach out to us, and we'll tell you what it will take to do that. So just to say thanks very much, and we wish everybody whatever's left of your weekend, we wish you a nice restful one. Take care and God bless. And thanks to the candidates once again. God bless.